Good morning. Today is something a little different. Someone has sent me a metal detector. Dr.Otek. Now they sent me a entry level or beginners metal detector to try, review and see how I get on. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not paid for this. They've just sent me this for an honest review. And as I quite like the budget entry-level machines, I do like to see what's out there. I do like to see if you can get a cheap machine and it works. And when I say it works, it has to be able to do at least the minimum of what you want from a metal detector. So this is just going to be an unboxing. I will put it together, we'll have a look at it, we'll turn it on. I will do an air test video. I don't normally do them, but we'll do one as it's brand new and they've sent it to me as a full test. Then we'll take it out, I'll try it in the field, I'll try it on the beach, and then I'll give you my honest opinion. I'll give you my opinion as I go through on build quality, materials and such like. I mean, I do have a cheap budget machine. This is a Chinese machine here. It is a bit of a clone, it's a naughty one. The MTXE I think it is, if I remember rightly. I haven't used it for a while, but I kept it. I was actually impressed with it. I've tried other ones in the past. I don't have any of the other ones. They were alright, but I actually do like this one. So let's hope that this one is the same. So it comes in it's very minimal packaging, but then don't know that for you. On the outside of the box, it does say has adjustable sensitivity, 6 modes of operation. Pinpoint, I presume that the pinpoint function doesn't come with a pinpointer. 3.5mm headphone jack, a sturdy shovel, we'll see what's in there, a portable carry bag. So yeah, I haven't opened it, I haven't touched it, we're going to open it now and we'll have a look. So let's crack the box open and then I'll move the camera around when we go through it. And yeah, we'll see what contents has. Now, I don't know what my test will be yet. I may just go hunting with it, or I may do what I do in the past. I set an area out, I just pick another machine, go over the floor. Normally I use my MyLab Equinox, and I'll find a load of targets that I would dig with this machine. I'll flag them out, and then I'll see if this can find them. If this can find them, and then I'll dig them with this, wouldn't I? So let's hope. Let's hope. What we got? What we got? Well, there's the coil. That. There's the coil. Feels that it's got a coil cover as well. I think that's a coil cover. I'm not going to pull it, but it looks like a coil cover. Maybe not. Yeah, coil. One coil, one lead. I do have a tape measure, but I can't remember how big the coil is. I don't really like overly small coils. It's a 9-inch coil. That's all right. We have a set of instructions and a screwdriver. Go through them in a minute. This must be the carry pouch. Let's have a look. Not sure what it's a carry pouch for. It's for the machine. Doesn't look big enough for a machine. No. Oh, it's a fines bag. So they've enclosed a fines bag in there. I do like a fines bag. Actually, that's not bad. I may actually use that. Feels right. It's got like a waterproof. I don't know if it's waterproof all the way through. Because when I'm on the beach, if I crouch down and the bottom gets wet, it retains water, and I don't like that because then it drips all over my legs. That's promising. This must be the shovel. I will admit I've never had good experiences with collapsible shovels, just because they tend to corrode, and then if they've got a twist screw, if you've been using them on the beach, they're never good. It's got oh, I see. So you've got an extendable shaft or an interchangeable shaft, one of the two. That's no, it's an extendable shaft. You know what? I was hoping for a digging tool, as in a like a trowel, not a folding spade. But maybe I'll get a trowel in the future. Who knows? I'd like to try out their trowel if they've got one. I think they do. You never know. You never know. It actually feels alright. Doesn't feel too cheap. I've got a feeling, yeah, that unlocks and it turns it into like a pick. Yeah, you've got a pick on the back. So if you really do have some sun-baked ground. Okay, yep. Not sure if I take that out with me everywhere, but it's small enough you can keep it in your bag. And it comes with its own little pouch to keep it all in. So that's actually, yeah, I can possibly keep that in my bag. Now we get to the good bits. One arm cuff, and also support when you put it down. Most machines have got some sort of padded arm cuff nowadays. It does have padding, it does have a Velcro strap. Good start. Right, I'm presuming, oh, comes with headphones. Doesn't say that on the outside. It does come with headphones. Foldable headphones. Now I've got foldable headphones with my Equinox. They've been very good. They haven't, I did wonder if the connections would start to break down on the hinges, but so far the Equinox ones haven't. I will definitely be trying these out. I know they're corded, but they have a volume control on the cord. That's actually quite a good little feature. Try them on. Not too uncomfortable, no. Until we plug them in, I don't know how good they are. They feel nice though. They've got a nice tactile, they've like a matte finish, a matte, not rubber, I suppose it could be rubber. They do feel nice. They do look nice. So, one's at headphones, wasn't expecting that. That looks like the shaft, the main shaft. And it's got, yeah, it's got push locking adjustment, and on the bottom you've just got your plastic nut and bolt, as it were, to go straight onto the coil. Should be another piece in here somewhere. Yeah, I thought there would be. That's your pistol grip. Yeah, a lot of these machines now, Equinox has a pistol grip. This one, although not technically a pistol grip, I actually quite like the pistol grip machines. We'll see how it's weighted, because that is the key. The arm cup's going to sit and support you there, but we'll see how it feels when you actually pick it up. I'm presuming the control panel goes on top of the grip. The MTXE. So this is Dr.Otek's. I've got a funny feeling they have a machine out right now that's about £150. Whether this one is its replacement or the newer model, I'm not entirely sure, and I would imagine it's going to be valued at about £150 because they're existing machine, and they still achieve £100 second hand, which is always a good indication on the machine. If they sell at 150, then they tank in the second hand market and people aren't getting 20-30 quid for them. You know they're not a lot good, but they're retaining their money. And I did have a look last night, and you can still pick up a second hand one for £100. I would imagine similar machines to this, entry level branded ones like the Vanquish and the Garrett Ace 250, they're about 250 quid, brand new. If this is £150, you're saving yourself £100. Some people do just have a budget and they cannot go higher. So if your budget is £150, we'll see if this is for you. Right, let's get putting it together. I'll get the instructions out. We'll have a look through the modes, and go from there. All you need to put this together is a screwdriver, a screwdriver or a crosshead. You do get a very small one with it. We'll see if that's up to the job. If not, I do have a screwdriver with me. And you will need a 9-volt battery because it doesn't come with one. So we have a 9-volt battery. Right, let's go. Right, so before I put it together, we'll go through the functions on the control panel. I have popped in a 9-volt battery. It's a wired connection, not just a clip-in one. Built-in speaker on the back. If I can put this panel back on. There we go. Built-in speaker. Headphone jack. Just there is your coil jack. And that will be your connection to your pistol grip on the machine's body. You've got 4 buttons. They will do 2 purposes depending on long or short push. The MTXE has 4 preset modes: all metal, pasture, park and sand, which they will light up depending on which one. You've got your pinpoint strength and then the range at the top. So short press for on, just initiating, got no coil on at the moment, and if you long press that button it will go off, and you can also short press it while the machine is on and it will reset back to what is called normal, all metal, nothing discriminated, low volume. Then we've got battery indicator, sensitivity indicator, and there's your volume there. Right, we will start off with the modes. Short push mode button, comes on in all metal, nothing's out. Press it once, pasture, indicator there, park, sand will knock off iron. You can discriminate these individually, but we'll get to that button in a minute. So I'll stick it back in all metal. Long press. There, just there is your volume icon. And it's got 2 bars for loud. Long press. And then you got 1 and 2. Stick it back down there. Sensitivity, short press. 1, 2, 3 and 4. We'll leave it on minimum for now. One feature I do like, which I've just noticed, is it's got a backlight. There's a little light icon. Long press. And that's not a bad backlight. And this room isn't dark. So yeah, that's I'll leave it on because it highlights what's in the tabs at the top. Disc button, or discrimination. You've got your range at the top, gold, silver range. And then the visual display will give you the 40 to 90 right in the middle there. We'll test that out on the air test. So one press of the disc button should take off iron, and it will. We'll jump into disc mode first, forgot to say. And then you'll take out iron. Next press gets rid of nickel. Then you should get rid of pull tabs. And then you should get rid of, this is the gold tab. I'm not sure what that part at the top there, it's probably in the instructions, but for now we'll call that the gold tab. That should go. Copper is next. Silver, can't take that one out, otherwise you just remove everything. One more press and they should all be reinstated. Yep. It's a shame you can't just take out individual ones, but it's not really a problem because I only ever take out iron normally. I mean, you might just want to take out iron and pull tabs, leave the nickel and possible ring symbol there. Nice to take those 2 out, but it's not really a problem. Long press on the disc button gives you pinpoint. You've got PP down there. Now I've got no coil on, so I don't know what noise it's going to make. Good, it's not shouting at us. So that's your pinpoint to let you know it's on, and then you've got depth gauge there, 1 to 4. And then when we set it up, we'll see what lights up with the pinpoint on strength. So back out of pinpoint, and then obviously you got on off. If I press that short button now, it should go back to the initial setup screen, or what they call normal. So if you've got anything set up you're not sure of, whack the normal button and it will reset it, and then long press is off. Simple as that. That is very user friendly. Give it that. You can't really go wrong because everything You don't need the instructions to operate the buttons, but you don't really need to know what the buttons do. Essentially, they are labelled. The only one you might want to look up on is the disc button, just so you know what you're kicking out and what you're keeping in. Other than that, there's not a lot to it. So for a beginner's machine, very user friendly. It's got a backlight, which I do like on machines. I don't go out very often at night, but it's nice to have a backlight. It's just nice to have that option. And if your sight isn't brilliant, that backlight does not have highlight, especially the tabs at the top and the smaller ones at the bottom. It will give you that definition, save you sort of staring at it. So I like that feature. Right, next we'll chuck it together. Okay, so I've sort of got it set out. I've disassembled it a little more than it comes in the box. I've just taken the nut off, I've taken the screw out the back of the control box, and I've separated the cuff. Just so when we put it together, it's just a bit easier, saves faffing. Bottom stem goes to the coil. It doesn't look like, it doesn't go any particular way round, so that is nice and simple. You just need to compress the two button tabs. Make sure this is fully unwound, because that will grip. There, yeah, see, that part in there will grip down when you slide the bottom part of the pole in. Make sure the tabs are down. We'll get that fully unwound, then you can see where they will go into the machine. There we go, and then they should either lock into whichever desired length you want. I'm going to leave it at the longest. Do that back up nice and tight. I mean, it just gives you that added. And it is quite solid. There's no, it's not flappy. That little bit there is for the coil wire. Just stops it flapping about, so you can take that off and stick it wherever. But you should really wind your coil nice and tight. We'll put the coil on last. Top end, you got another one. It's got a cutout, but again, it doesn't matter which way around it goes. It's got 3 position settings for the cuff, depending on how long your forearm is and where you want that cuff. Just set it up on your arm yourself. People have got shorter arms, longer arms, whatever's comfy. And again, pop that in, it locks. That's not coming out. Yeah, no, that feels alright. That feels alright. Bit of a row, but I think it's not going to move, which is what you want. We'll put the cuff on. Cuff similar. It comes in 2 parts. So when you separate it, the bottom part's got the locator lug in it. So put that in whichever location hole you want. I'm going to put it in the middle one. And it doesn't overhang the back. And then just line up your top part of the cuff. And then you've got a finger screw. Don't need a screwdriver for this one. Tighten that up. On the top you've got your Velcro strap. I do use a Velcro strap occasionally. It's nice to have the option. And then you just tighten that down. Nice and simple. Undo it and you tighten it down over your arm. Again, it's nice to have that. Not every machine has a Velcro strap. Right, I'll pop the main control box on. I think, yeah, screws through from the front. It's just a little Allen key, little Phillips. Just got to line that up. Screws through to a nut on the back. It does come with a screwdriver, so you shouldn't need one. Oh, that's alright, does the job. Didn't need to dig my one out. Just make sure that's done up nice and tight, because you don't want your control panel flapping about or falling off. Alright, winner. No, that does not move. That does not move. Right, let's get the coil on. Move out the digging tool out of the way. If I get the coil on here, you'll be able to see what I'm on about. Just be careful when taking off the strap, not to damage the wire or yourself. There we go, hopefully this will go on nice and smoothly, but you've got to remember to wrap that coil wire nice and tight, because you can get false signals if you don't wrap it fairly tight around the pole. It's got 2 rubber washers in the bottom, that will help. It will stop the coil becoming loose, and once you've got it at the angle you want when you detect, you don't want that coil flapping down to a different angle. It just becomes very irritating. Yep, oh, they're alright. Loads of thread on there. Let's see, if I do them up nice and tight, let's see if the coil moves. No, that grips that alright. I had that on another machine where it didn't come with washers, and I had to get some washers and put them in, but that's set up okay. Alright, we'll wrap the coil around. Obviously make sure you've got enough to get to your control box. Don't wrap it so tight that you can't plug it in. As I said before, I don't think the control box is waterproof. Just be the coil and then up to the box. You never want to get the box wet if you can help it. Some machines will come with a control box cover. That's quite self-explanatory. It only goes in one way. Give it a bit more slack. A bit more. Might have to uncoil it one rotation. It should, no. Pops in the back like that. Not too tight. You definitely don't want that loose. And then you've got a Velcro strap. Quickly chuck that round the cable. I think we're ready to turn it on. We'll test the pinpoint function while we're doing this, and then I'll save the rest of the tests for a specific test video. There we go. I'll do an air test. Right, let's see what it feels like when you hold it up. Right, I'll turn you off. I'll have a little look and I'll give you my thoughts on build quality. Right, so I've got you on my living room floor. You've got to bear in mind there's nails in the floorboards. But, just a quick go, just to get a feel of it before I tell you. It actually feels alright, it feels quite well balanced. So I'm going to swing the coil. There's a Victoria halfpenny, just there. There are nails in the floor, but I've disked out iron for now. Doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Pinpoint mode is quite loud. And you've got to be very slow. There you go. It's going to be picking up some of the nails in the floor. But essentially, that's where the coil is. Go a bit higher. Interesting. Okay, but what I have found out is, if you really don't like those tones, where you've got the volume down here, you can increase the volume by holding it down, long button, long press, so that is louder. I didn't know you could run it without volume. Hold it down one more time. You have no markings in front of that little speaker icon. Not too bad. Now I'm going to plug in the headphones, and I'll let you know what the headphones sound like, or feel like at least. So we've muted it. I'm going to turn the volume back up. They actually sound quite pleasant. It'll just be durability on the headphones. I can handle the tones. I am a bit funny when it comes to metal detectors. The Garrett used to really irritate me. Just the noises it made. This is alright. This is doable. I may take this down the beach for the first test. So I'll move that coin out of the way. I'll put iron back in, and you'll see the nails all over the floor. So what I will do, I'll just hit the normal button. So let's put it back in all metal, and you'll see. Plus you get a different tone for iron, which again, not all cheap machines do. You tend to get one tone for everything, regardless of what you're finding, which is fair enough. But iron seems to be that deep buzz, reading in very low down the scale. Put that penny back, half penny back on the floor. You get a higher tone. It's enough for you to realise that you've got something possibly worth digging. If I disc out the iron, you don't even get a reading for the iron, nothing. Just completely ignores it. Let's move that penny over there where those iron nails are. Hey, recovery ain't bad at all. So obviously you're passing over some iron, and I'm actually swinging quite fast. This is no means a depth test or an air test. I am swinging that super quick. Obviously not very deep, but I am swinging it very quick, and it's catching it and completely ignoring the iron. I think this will be a very good coin shooter in the summer. There you go. I think that's about it. I shall give you my final thoughts. Let's go and have a sit down. So what do I think of the Dr.Otek MTXE? This will be their new machine, entry-level machine. That is what it's branded at. I would imagine, I'm not 100% on this, it's going to be about £150, thereabouts. It does have a website, and you do have a support email, which is always good to know. The instruction manual is quite comprehensive, especially if you're a beginner. I mean, I've taken it and played with it. Obviously, I've been detecting for quite a while. This is not bad. It does give you quite a comprehensive write-up on how to use it, and then there's notes, false signals, reasons for false signals, using sound to help identify a target. It will give you the ranges for different metals. So as a beginner, I think once you've read this, you'll have that good idea before you go out in the field or the park or the beach. Definitely that's worth a read before you go out. Don't just think you know it all. I don't think I know it all. So you got that in the box. Again, the entry-level beginner machine. You go out, you buy it. You don't want to be spending £800 on this machine, or I've got another machine in the room that's a couple of £100, about £300 I have a Mind Lab. You just might not have the money, or you might just want to fill the water, test the water as such. £150. People will say, save up that bit more, go and get yourself such and such or such and such. You might not want to. Do you know what? For £150, if that's what this is, that's what I'm basing it on, not bad. Yeah. Build quality, it doesn't flex, it doesn't flap about. The coil is not a bad size. I've got a similar size coil on this cheap machine, beginner's machine. Yeah, the coil actually isn't a bad size. It's not too small. I've had one before where it's a tiny little 6-inch coil. I couldn't hunt in the field with that. This is big enough that you can actually go out on a hunt, and it's all right. I've just been swinging it. Nothing seems to move about like it's going to snap or fall apart. It's quite well balanced. The headphones, initially plugging them in and having a listen, that volume control is quite handy on there, so you don't have to use the one on the machine all the time. They are corded, but that's what you're going to get with an entry-level machine, normally. And it's got a long enough cord, actually. Can't complain at that. My corded headphones are quite short. And they fold up. Yeah, I'm not going to knock them. I will use these when I use this machine. I won't go and dig out my headphones. I'll use that. Fines pouch is always a winner. As I say, once you buy your machine and you go out in the field, you don't want to have to start buying all accessories for it and for yourself. If you're not 100% sure you're going to be taking the hobby up full time, if you like. So you get it all. You wouldn't need essentially to go and buy a spade. You've got a very small fold-up spade in there. You've got yourself a fines bag and a set of headphones. I'm actually quite impressed. I'm quite impressed with it overall. User-friendly interface. You can't really go wrong once you've got your head around what the buttons do, even if you're new. There's only 4 buttons and one of them is on and off. So 3 buttons. They're dual purpose, but yeah, I think this is quite foolproof. Yeah, no. First impressions, double thumbs up from me. I like an entry-level machine. I like to see what's out there. I like to see what other companies can do, not just the big names. So, we'll do an air test next. Then we'll probably hit the beach with it. And I've got a field I can go in, although there's not a lot in the field. I have hammered it over the years. We'll go and test it in the field, providing it's not too hot. I'm actually quite excited to take it out. Genuinely, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I like the fact that it's a pistol grip machine as well. Right, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it's been informative. I do have other videos on the channel. If you want me to do anything in particular with it, or any other machine, but specifically this one, if you want me to test it in any way, take it somewhere, I will try and cover like recovery. I'll be doing the depth on the air test and in the field, so I should cover everything. But if there's something you want to know, if I can tell you, I will. Just stick it in the comments below. Cheers for watching, and I will see you next time.